Alright, let's start with a question that's probably pissing off half of you already. Why do we keep pretending we can predict NBA careers using stats alone? I mean, if you've ever watched a draft analyst drool over a player's prime projection, you've seen how this goes wrong. But here's the twist: today's topic isn't about tearing down analytics. It's about staring into the abyss of what happens when the numbers do line up, and realizing the abyss stares back. Let's talk about Alex Sarr, the Wizards' 7-foot enigma, and why his statistical doppelgangers feel less like comps and more like a horror movie lineup. Now, quick context: there's this algorithm called the Statistical Doppelgänger Machine, sounds like a 90s sci-fi villain, that compares players across 14 categories dating back to 1978. It ignores position, which you'd think would make the results chaotic, but weirdly, it often nails the vibe. Except when it doesn't. And with Sarr? It's given us a list that's equal parts genius and nightmare fuel. Let's dissect the first comp, Kristaps Porzingis' 2015-16 season. On paper, it's genius. Both are 7-foot unicorn bigs with shooting range and defensive versatility. But here's the rub: Porzingis' career is basically a highlight reel interrupted by orthopedic surgery ads. And Sarr? Already dealing with a fractured foot this summer. Personally, I think this comp is way too on-brand. Not because Sarr's talent isn't there, but because the injury history tracks. We are not just comparing stats here, we are comparing fragility. What many people don't realize is that Porzingis' rookie year was his healthiest. That's not a comp, it's a warning label. Then there's Jared Sullinger, 2014-15. Okay, sure, the rebounding and post-scoring check out. But Sullinger's career imploded because of weight issues and a lack of mobility. Sarr? He's a significantly better athlete. Yet, this comp bugs me. Why? Because it's a reminder that even safe stats can't predict work ethic or how a player adapts to their body. If you take a step back and think about it, Sullinger was a top 5 pick too. And now he's, well, not in the NBA. That's the elephant in the room with all these comps. They're not just names, they're cautionary tales. Now, Bobby Portis. Let's get this straight: Portis was a dumpster fire defensively until he landed on a contender and figured it out. Sarr? He's already a smarter defender. But here's what's fascinating: Portis' journey shows how environment shapes outcomes. The machine doesn't account for coaching, culture, or luck. And that's the flaw. Stats reflect results, not reasons. So when we see this comp, we are ignoring the 800-pound gorilla in the gym. How much does a player evolve? Sarr's got time, but the algorithm treats growth as static. That's like judging a caterpillar by its first leaf. Marvin Bagley tree. Oh, this one stings. Second overall pick, generational athleticism, career derailed by injuries and a lack of defensive impact. If Sarr's comp to Bagley, we're admitting he could become a what-if legend. But here's my counter: Sarr's playmaking is legit. Bagley averaged 1.2 assists per 100 possessions. Sarr? 2.7, that's not nitpicking, that's a skill gap. And yet, the algorithm sees bouncy big man with injury red flags and calls it a day. It's frustrating because it overlooks the nuance of skill development. And finally, Chet Holmgren. Another unicorn with a max contract and a medical chart that reads like a car crash report. Holmgren's rookie year was delayed by a broken foot, just like Sarr's summer setback. But here's the twist: Holmgren's already proven he can be an all-NBA defender. Sarr hasn't. So why's this comp here? Because the machine doesn't care about potential, it cares about numbers. And right now, their efficiency profiles look alike. But this raises a deeper question: are we overvaluing immediate output while ignoring developmental timelines? Sarr 19. Holmgren was 21 in his rookie year. Patience isn't a stat. Look, the real kicker here is the extended list. You've got Jackson Jr., who's a defensive savant but a black hole on offense. Then the Abyss, Parker, Okafor, Beasley, the unredeemable pal. What's the takeaway? The machine isn't evil, but it's brutally honest. For every Jaren Jackson, there's a Porzingis. For every upside, a red flag. And Sarr? He's stuck in the middle of this statistical purgatory. But here's my closing thought: maybe the doppelgangers aren't about Sarr at all. Maybe they're a mirror for our own biases. We see the injuries and scream Porzingis. We see flashes of playmaking and yell Doncic. But what if Sarr's story isn't written by his comps? What if the machine isn't a fortune teller, but a reality check? The numbers don't care about our hope. They just are. The question is, can Sarr rewrite them? Drop your takes in the comments, and while you're at it, ask yourself, when did stats become the enemy of storytelling, or did we just get tired of waiting for the story to finish?